And here is the final story of the first ever historically recorded Ikemen, master seduction poet Ariwara-no-Narihira, part 4. Narihira was separated from the biggest infatuation of his life, Fujiwara no Takaiko, because she was fated to marry the emperor as his consort. They didn't see each other for over a decade after their failed runaway attempt. Now, Narihira's court rank was among the lowest for much of his life because of his unfavorable ancestry, and that meant he didn't have the right to step into the imperial palace where Takaiko lived now as the emperor's consort. Takaiko had become a woman completely untouchable to Narihira. But when Narihira was 50, 17 years after his heartbreak, he was promoted above a noble rank of the 5th degree, which meant he could now enter the imperial palace. Why so suddenly? Takaiko had given birth to a prince, and this prince had been named heir. By the time she was 35, she had become the mother of the new emperor, one of the most powerful figures in Japan. So it is theorized that she put in a good word for Narihira so that he could be promoted. Not only that, Takaiko created a salon for Japanese poetry. There were salons for Chinese poetry until then, but there were none for Japanese poetry. She was the first to make such a salon in the palace. So I believe Takaiko was laying the groundwork to put Japanese poetry masters like Narihira onto center stage. Among a few other master poets, Narihira was invited to her salon. But he could not see her because in this ancient time, men were not supposed to see highborn women they were not married to directly. So there were blinds between Takaiko and the master poets. Her beautifully layered robes and her long hair were the only things that were peeking from under the blinds. When Narihira entered the salon, there was a folding screen with a painting of Tatsuta River colored crimson by autumn leaves. And that was when he read this poem, which he is best known for today.ちはやぶる神代も聞かず竜田川からくれなゐに水くくるとは Even in the mystical age of the gods, nothing so miraculous could have happened as this, that the river of Tatsuta should dye its waters and turn them into such a vivid scarlet brocade. Never had anyone filled my fluid heart with love so fervent, with love so radiant. Just like a river cascading downhill, Japanese poetry was eventually recognized as the form of poetry, and it eventually evolved into the haiku of today. So I'd be grateful if you remember that somewhere upstream, there was a love story and heartbreak of an Ikemen master poet, Ariwara-no-Narihira. Read my book.